Today, my things to do is to make my own body wash, and I'm going to be using those tiny pieces of soap bars that we have left over from when our soap bars got so small and we were getting ready to throw those away. You know, we all have them. You don't use them anymore because they're so small. Well, I saved mine up so that I can make body wash. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to measure out 7 ounces of those little tiny soap bars. You can use full-size soap bars, and for that you'll end up with 2 of them. And you want to grate this down. You can use a hand grater or you can use a food processor. I've got a dedicated food processor that I use just for my crafting. But if you're going to use one that you use in your kitchen, make sure you do clean it out very well. You don't want soapy food. It takes just a few seconds to grate the soap down into small little pebbles. And you want them fine enough to where they melt pretty quick. Now see how fine this is? Now, while I was grating my soap, I got my water ready. I've got 6 cups of simmering water. You don't want to boil the water. You just want to make sure that it's simmered. I've got the simmering on about medium-low heat. And then I'm going to stir in the soap. I'm not going to stir vigorously because I'm not trying to make bubbles. I just want to melt my soap. And I don't need to stir this continuously, but we do want to come back every now and then. It'll take about 10 minutes total for this to completely melt. After my soap has melted, now is a good time to add any additives that you would like to use. And in this case, I'm using 1 tablespoon of coconut oil. I like how coconut oil feels on my skin. I did this with the stove off, and I'm just going to stir the coconut oil until it's melted. And then afterwards, I'm going to move the entire pot over to a cooler side of my stove. And I'm going to let this sit for about 2 hours while it thickens up. After 2 hours, I'm going to come back and stir this up. You see how thick this got? Now is a good time to go ahead and add my glycerin. I'm adding about a tablespoon of vegetable food grade glycerin. I did get this from Amazon. If you get it from a Whole Food store, make sure that it is food grade that you're using. I'm going to stir this in very well, and then I'm going to go ahead and get my bottle ready, or actually bottles, because this does make quite a few ounces of soap. I've got a large 32-ounce bottle that I've placed my funnel into, and by the spoonful I'm pouring it into the funnel, pouring the soap into it. Look how thick this is. I thought for sure I'm going to have to use the pointed end of a spoon to go ahead and push this down, but look how it in real time just glides through that funnel. Bloosh, down it goes. So I'm just going to keep filling up my bottle until I'm completely filled to the top with my soap. Like I said, this did use a little bit more than 32 ounces. What I did have left over, I put in my hand soap jar that I use in the bathroom. You can use this, obviously for hand soap. Here is my body wash bottle ready to go. Today, my thing to do was to make my own body wash. Make it your thing to do too. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. And here's another video that you might be interested in. Make these your things to do too. Bye.